What's up, Vanda crew? It's been a while, but we are finally back. Currently, in the video, I'm finishing up the varnish on my lazarette hatches and my propane locker hatch. I'm going to be installing all the hatches in today's video and putting the boat together. So this footage is actually pretty old. I completed all these tasks in summer, like I want to say August, or it was a while. It was like July, and it is now currently January 4th, 2024. So, yeah, it's been a minute. It takes me a while to edit this footage. I've also been spending a lot of time at the boat getting a lot of things done, so I haven't had access to a computer, so it's kind of been difficult for me to edit all these videos. When I do these building videos of me building stuff, the footage just piles up. I currently have 3 terabytes of footage on an external hard drive that still needs to be edited. So, even just this video was about 17 hours of footage that I had to go through and condense it all and edit it. So it takes a good bit of time, and not just the editing, but the processing and rendering too. My computer will be rendering for hours at a time. So, but I'm trying to get the videos out as fast as possible so that I can show you guys all the projects I'm doing and everything I've done. And the boat currently right now is actually very close to being launched and put in the water. I'm real excited for that. It'll be great to take you along some sailing adventures and actually do some sailing in the Vanda too. But I'd really like to get all the boat building videos done before that. Currently what you're seeing here in the video is I'm building my salon hatch. So I rebuilt this. I bought a 1/2-inch sheet of shaded acrylic. I made these wooden beams. I varnished them, and I have all this in some of my older vlogs. So if you go through my older videos, or maybe you've already seen it, you've seen me build these, but now we're finally putting it together. And now it's finally time. Once I get this together, we can go to the boatyard and put everything on. So that's what we're going to do today. Ahoy, Vanda crew! We're sailing around the world in a Hinckley Bermuda 40, so you're gonna want to be subscribed. What's up, Vanda crew? We're back at the boatyard, working on the Vanda 2, as always, I got started already today. I've been down here since about 7, 8 a.m. working. Unfortunately, I forgot my mic, so I didn't really say much. I just got a whole bunch done. But pretty much what we're doing today is we're getting all our hatches and hinges installed. So I've started working on my lazarettes and my propane locker and my companionway. So my companionway has some trim pieces and some rail guides. I started installing those. Of course, unfortunately, I got bolts that were all the wrong size. So they're good enough to kind of get everything somewhat together. And then we're going to go get the actual bolts that'll fit it. I'm going to do bolts that go through and then have a cap nut on the ends, make it look nice on the inside of the boat. But I did get my propane locker all squared away, so that's all put together. And then, we're working on my 3 lazarettes in my cockpit. I'm probably going to work on my salon hatch last and do my V-berth hatch after my companionway is all done. So for my V-berth hatch, I did get some hinges for them, but they're a little bigger than I'd like, so I'm going to get some different ones. The way I want to do my hatches and everything on the deck is, of course, I want to have sealant and seal it all with UV sealant. So I have some 3M 4000 UV sealant, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill it all, put it all together. Once it's all together, I'll go back and take it apart and squeeze some sealant in there and put it back together, hand screw it all. So for the most part, I'm using through bolts, but in some areas I can't do that, so I just use self-tapping wood screws. In some areas it's not really necessary either. Like the trim boards, there's never going to be any weight or anything applied to them, so you don't need to get all fancy with it. So I'm just going to do what works, and the self-tapping screws are more than enough. I went back to my hut to charge my phone so I could record some more, and I had to pick up my microphone so I could talk to you guys. I also picked up these cleats a long time ago. So these are some new 12-inch, I think 12 or 10-inch. Yeah, 12-inch cleats. I got these a while ago. Now that the deck is all painted and varnished, I can get ready to install my new cleats, so that'll be exciting. In case you haven't noticed, I'm wearing one of my new shirts. Pretty cool. If you like one, you can pick one up at vandacrew.com with a small donation of $15. VANDACREW.com. Pretty cool. Mine's already dirty because I'm working in it, but whatever, you know. All right, so I'm gonna get started. Well, it took almost 2 years, but I finally did it. I'm basically nearing completion, or at least getting ready to put the boat in the water. We're pretty close to putting the boat in the water. I'm gonna get the interior started a bit and then put on some bottom paint and hopefully launch the boat, and hopefully we'll be sailing soon. But I am so happy to be here and so happy I stuck with it, and I went through, because man, it was quite the struggle getting here. You guys don't even know the battles I faced and how difficult this challenge was to do all this. I mean, we're not out of it yet, but we're basically there, and I'm so happy. The boat looks like a brand new boat now. It actually looks like a Hinckley. So we did it. We restored this shipwreck, and we actually turned a shipwreck into a $250,000 boat, or however much these things are supposedly $100,000 boats, but I don't know, I don't plan to sell it. I didn't buy it for money. I bought it because it's a good boat for sailing around the world. I love the modified full keel. I'm sorry, I got shit in my eyes. Oh shit. I love the modified full keel. I love the centerboard. I love that this is a sloop rig. Most Hinckleys are yawl rigged. I just love everything about this boat. I love the lead ballast. I love the way the keel is designed. This boat is a tank. I mean, you can run this thing aground and it's not gonna sink. It's solid glass all the way through, even on the deck. 2 inches thick. I mean, God. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy that we made it this far. Don't forget to check out my website, vandacrew.com. Pick up a shirt, leave a donation, pick up a shirt. I've got all sorts of colors. I've got tank tops, everything, This stuff ain't cheap, it ain't free, and I've been busting my ass to make money to do this stuff, so I'm drained. So anything you do will help, so I can keep providing content for you guys and sail around the world and stuff, and hopefully I can give a little back to you as well. But yeah, I'm gonna bust out the drone now and get some drone shots and get a few drone shots of this thing from above and take a look at what it looks like and show you guys that. And then after that, until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Woo! Okay, so we are back. I filled these holes with some 404 high density filler, thickened epoxy. These are the holes on the aft lazarette. I'll kind of show you with the camera here. These holes, as well as the ones up in the V-berth that we drilled into the bulkhead. I'll show you those in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to finish mounting my hatch over here and re-drill these holes. So let's get started with that. For mounting hardware, I'm using bolts, and these are through bolted, and then I'm doing a washer, and then a lock nut, and then a nut. So washer and lock nut and a lock nut. Washer For my through bolts inside the boat, I'll also grind off the excess bolt material and put a cap nut on to make it look nice. I won't be using cap nuts on anything that's going into the lazarette. It's only for the stuff that's on the interior side of the boat, just because it's pretty pointless. And then as well, I'll also be putting sealant in the bolts for everything on the interior. All right. And that's my aft lazarette hinges installed. Good morning, Vanda crew. We are at the boatyard nice and early today. We can start getting our projects done. It's currently 6:30 a.m. It's been starting to get really hot these last few days. We're seeing temperatures in the high 80s, 90s. I'm in Southern California, so that's hot for here. That might not be hot for some of you guys. Like if you live in Arizona, I know it's 116 right now. But it's been really hot and it's kind of hot. You can probably see my face. My face is even getting a little sunburn. So it's really hot. So it's really hot to be working on the deck of the boat. So we came down here nice and early so we can try and get some work done before it gets too hot. My plan is to finish installing my hatches. So I started working on my hatches, but the hinges I got didn't quite work for everything, and the bolts I got weren't quite the right size, so we experimented. I ended up going back to the store. I picked up some new hinges for my V-berth hatch right here. So these are some nice stainless steel. They're pretty thick and beefy. I like them, but they're gonna fit way better than the other hatches I was gonna try and use. I'm gonna through bolt these through the hull and use wood tapping screws to bolt them to the hatch since the hatch is wood. Once we get them all bolted in, I'm going to use some sealant. After I do my V-berth hatch, I'm going to work on my 2 or my 3 lazarette hatches. So I have a port and starboard lazarette hatch as well as a stern lazarette hatch just behind the helm. I already drilled out the holes for my stern lazarette hatch, so for that one all we have to do is really attach the bolts and put some sealant on. So I don't know if I'm going to seal everything just yet. I wasn't able to get some number 10 size washers, unfortunately, and I really want to, when I do the through bolts, I want to have the bolt go through, I want to do a washer, a nut, and then a cap nut. So I see that on a lot of nicer boats. It looks really good, especially on the inside. So you're going to see these. My boat doesn't have a headliner, and I don't plan on putting one in. It looks really nice without the headliner, but you're going to see these bolts coming through the cabin top, so I'd like to make them look nice on the inside. So that's sort of my plan on how to set up through bolts. I'm pretty excited to get these hatches installed. I did get my propane locker hatch on the stern end of the boat all squared away, so that'll be good. I don't know if I'll do the sealant quite right away, because like I said, I couldn't get the washers, and then I'd also like to get all my hatches and everything done and squared away and then go back and seal everything. And the reason for that is because once you pop open the sealant, I don't know, I seem to have trouble with keeping it fresh. Sometimes it hardens back up, and then you waste a whole can of sealant doing, just a few bolts. So I don't really want that to happen. I'd like to use as much as I can and get everything done. That way nothing goes to waste. So next I'm going to be mounting up these lazarette hatches here. And this one's pretty tricky to do because I need to use sort of a door hinge like this. I need to use a door hinge like this. I need to put it like this in between. It's the only way it's going to work. And I need to mount it to the wood first and then mount it to the fiberglass. It's the only way I'll be able to do it. And it's tricky to do because obviously I have to mount it to the wood in the correct place before I can mount it to the fiberglass. So what I did was I matched it up on the wood on this side so that I would take the full face of the wood, touch all the way to the bottom, and then I used a piece of tape to match where it should line up on the fiberglass. So what I'll do is I'll first drill my holes in the wood, and then I'll drill the holes in the fiberglass, and then I'll screw it and bolt it into the wood, and then I'll have the hatch upright, and I'll have the hinges laying down, and I'll screw it into the fiberglass after that. So let's do this. have it. Our portside lazarette hatch is installed. Later on I'll add on some like latches on the front that lock and whatnot. But yeah. Nice and sturdy. Nice and sturdy. Awesome. Woohoo!
All of our races destroying society. No one can save us. The best of us goes through a crack in the pavement. Eventually everyone faces it.
That nigga MC Spade better make it break the bitch. Smack all upside her head and let her know my people thick.
Alright, here's our V-berth hatch from the outside. So we got our hinges. We got it propped open. And we got our little spring mechanism here. And I like the way it turned out. It's nice and strong. Yeah, that's pretty good. Awesome. And we got a cool little hatch in here. And here's what those cap nuts look like on the interior. So we have the washer, the lock nut, the nut, and then the cap nut. And it looks very professional. And I don't know, if you like bonk your head or something, you won't hurt yourself as badly if the bolt was exposed.
When someone dies, they're gone forever, and there is nothing that we can do that is going to bring them back.
If listen close, you can hear it in the notes. And it crackle in the loop. We got your trip through what this road was. Domination, it's the overhead that stays so fast. Still hope now take up here into the clear, and you will see what has evolved. With these words I thought provoked. In my message, here's a fellow of the beast as it takes hold. If we ain't stressing, is the testament. The Trinity has grown, and in these sounds you hear the violence making you feel right at all. But still you cower of the power I control. Disregard what you are told. These lies of poison just corroded from the top. They look below as they drop bombs and bleed the ocean. No commotion from society. The masses are here quietly. I shed no tear for what I see. I grace the gears with nation. I feel no sorrow for the future of tomorrow. Smoking blunts around the marrow. I'm just looking for some problems. Raise the loan, but with this tone I feel I speak to all those shunned. Bow to these resurfing sons. Will give you guidance through these tongues.
When we lose someone dies, they're gone forever, and there is nothing.
Hey, what's up guys? I just finished installing my companionway rail guides as well as the hatch itself.
I was trying to record and show you guys the installation process of the rail guides, but my phone, yes, I use my phone for recording, overheated. It's just that hot out. So I haven't looked at the footage yet. I don't know if it got corrupted or if it recorded anything or how much it recorded. So, but unfortunately I didn't get to record the entire process. I'm gonna show you guys what I did though and show you how it came out. So here's the underside where my through bolts all came through. So I've got 5 through bolts on each side. We did it the same way we did all my other through bolts, where we got the washer, the lock washer, and then the nut. I'll probably come back over here later on and grind off the excess and put cap nuts, just like I did on my V-berth hatch up here. Here's how the outside turned out. So here are my rail guides installed. You can see I got sealant in there along the edges. I also put sealant in all the bolt holes, and I put sealant along the underside of the rail guide. So we really just want to keep water from leaking through the bolt holes. I'm not too worried about water splashing up and leaking through these trim pieces, because I'm gonna have an additional layer, probably like a weather seal, that will hopefully keep most of the water out when I close the hatch. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like when I open and close the hatch. Alright, so here's my companionway after installation, and you can see just glides open and close nicely, just like that. So that's another hatch out of the way. All that's left is my salon hatch now. Everything else is all finished and installed finally. I think next I'm gonna work on getting these trim pieces for the companionway installed. And in order to do that, I'm gonna have to mount the interior piece of wood to this, I don't know what you'd call this, like the wall on the cockpit.